dear children, welcome once again to the chemistry class. To continue with the previous topic, that is metallurgy, that we were discussing in the last class, today we shall discuss about its further one step ahead, that is refining of metals.
Yes, children, to understand refining, first of all try to understand one thing, that metals obtained by any of the reduction methods as discussed in the previous class still contain a number of impurities. Hence, the metal obtained is not pure. It is known as crude metal. The method used for refining depends on the nature of the metal and the nature of the impurities present. The most commonly used method for the purification of metals is electrolytic refining, that we are going to discuss right now in today's class. Yes, children, to understand this electrolytic refining, you should know that large number of metals like copper, silver, gold, nickel, chromium, etc. are purified by this method. In this method, the refining of metal is done by electrolysis. Thus, it is called as electrolytic refining. With this figure, it's going to be much clearer to you to understand how this electrolysis is taking place. Number one, the impure metal taken in the form of a thick block is made the anode in the electrolytic tank by connecting it to the positive terminal of the battery. Then a thin plate of pure metal is made the cathode by connecting it to the negative terminal of the battery. A suitable water-soluble salt of the metal that is to be refined is taken as electrolyte. Its solution in water is taken in the electrolytic tank. So children, on passing electricity through the solution, the pure metal from the anode passes into the solution in the form of metal ions, and an equivalent amount of metal ions from the solution are deposited as pure metal on cathode. So, the soluble impurities present in the impure metal pass into solution, while the insoluble impurities fall below the anode as anode mud or anode sludge. Hence, the electrolysis carries out, the size of the anode gradually decreases, whereas the size of the cathode keeps on increasing. So, this is how the refining of the electrolytic refining is done. So, if you want to understand it with the help of an example, so let's take an example of the electrolytic refining of copper here, children. The block of impure copper, as I have already told you, is made the anode, and a thin plate of pure copper is made the cathode. A solution of copper sulfate, that is acidified with dilute sulfuric acid, is taken as electrolyte in the electrolytic tank. So, on passing electricity, the pure copper from the anode passes into the solution as copper ions, and an equivalent amount of copper ions from the solution gets deposited on the cathode as pure copper. Hence, the process of electrolysis continues. The anode becomes thinner while the cathode becomes thicker. Further, impure copper generally contains the impurities of iron, silver and gold. Iron, being more reactive than copper, also gets oxidized to ferrous ions, which remain dissolved in the solution. The impurities of silver and gold, which are less reactive than copper, do not undergo oxidation and thus fall below the anode, as such in the form of anode mud. It is observed that in the electrolytic method of refining of copper, it's not just purifying the metal, but also gives precious metals such as gold and silver in the native state as anode mud. So children, here now we can conclude that highly reactive metals are extracted from their ores by electrolysis. Moderately reactive metals are extracted from their ores by reduction of their oxides with carbon, and less reactive metals are extracted from their ores by self-reduction of their sulfide ore. And the least reactive metals are found in the native or the free state. That's all about the refining.
For today, children, I hope whatever was explained in today's class, you must have understood it nicely. If you have any doubts, you may ask any number of times. God bless you all.